Hello everyone. Welcome to Enreason, current affairs program by Team and Life. Today's first topic is Trafficking in Persons Bill 2021. We will discuss about various provisions in the bill, issues associated with the bill, and the way forward. We will also discuss about measures taken by the government to counter trafficking in general and what more can be done. Next, we will discuss about concept of money laundering, Foreign Exchange Management Act (FEMA), various measures taken against the money laundering and way forward. The third topic will be monetary policy transmission. We will look into what is monetary policy, how it is different from fiscal policy, when does effective monetary policy transmission takes place, what are these terms, base rate, MCLR, external benchmark rate, that comes in news associated with effective transmission of monetary policy. Lastly, we will discuss about coal sector in India. In that, we will discuss about coking coal, which was in news. Then we will look into various types of coal, where they are located in India. Then we can go through issues plaguing the sector, various government initiatives and reforms for that, and what is the way forward. First topic is Draft Trafficking in Persons Bill 2021. It can be asked in mains under internal security in GS3 or under polity in GS2. The Hindu editorial says even though it is introduced in good intention, it fails to consider factors due to which trafficking happens. Now, coming on to provisions, it extends to all citizens inside as well as outside India. Now, the scope is not limited to women and children, it also extends to transgenders as well as any persons, and it defines exploitation and to be considered as victim, one need not be transported. The offenders can also include defense personnel, government servants, doctors, and paramedical staff, or any person in a position of authority. There is a clause for attaching property also. National Investigation Agency (NIA) shall act as the nodal agency for investigation. There is also a mention about setting up of anti-human trafficking committee at all three levels: national, state, and district. However, there are also issues like giving more responsibility to NIA might increase their burden. It might also undermine the local police investigations, thereby undermining federalism. And the clauses for attaching properties and not considering consensual activities for commerce might result in victimization of exploit. There is also a mention of death penalty, which is being criticized. Moving on to next topic. Next topic is money laundering. Enforcement Directorate has told Wasiras their operations are against Foreign Exchange Management Act (FEMA). There is a chance that these are being done for money laundering. Therefore, we need to have an idea about what is money laundering, what is Foreign Exchange Management Act, FEMA, what are the initiatives to counter money laundering. It is an important topic. So, what is laundering? Money laundering is a process by which our illegally obtained money is given that appearance that is from a legitimate source. According to IMF, about 2 to 5% of global GDP is laundered annually. This poses many threats to the country. Source of laundered money would be linked to organized crime that pose a national security threat, or it can cause financial threat like central bank will have lesser control over liquidity in the market. Depositor and creditor confidence will go down. There will be also be social consequences, like there will be an increase in corruption. Because tax is evaded, there will be lesser money for welfare programs for government, and it can affect social justice. This can have political consequences too, because when welfare of the people is not taken care of, the stability of the government will be weak, and the government can fall down. Now, what is FEMA or Foreign Exchange Management? It is the legal framework for the administration of foreign exchange transactions. It replaced an act called Foreign Exchange Regulation Act (FERA). It came into being on 2000. All financial transactions concerning foreign securities must be carried out through authorized persons under FEMA. These authorized persons might include urban cooperative banks, commercial banks, etc. And under FEMA, all transactions are classified either as capital account transaction or current account transaction. Okay. As usual, that capital transactions changes asset and liability criteria. In this one, central government can restrict current account transactions while RBI can restrict capital account transactions. Now, what are the measures taken? We have legislative measures, we have institutional measures, then there are also other measures. Like in legislative measures, it includes Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Black Money Act, Benami Transaction Prohibition Act and its amendment that which came in 2016. Of course, FEMA. There is also FCRA. There are also institutions like Enforcement Directorate, National Investigative Agency, Economic Intelligence Council, Financial Intelligence Unit, and we have already put together a special investigation team on black money, a multi agency group to probe Panama Papers leak. There was income declaration scheme. There was also GAR and DTA, Double Taxation Avoidance Acts amendments, and we also had put together a new concept called Place of Effective Management. And under international collaboration, we can write about Vienna Convention or partnership with the Financial Action Task Force, and under G20, how India brought about tax information exchange agreement. Now, what more can be done? The first step would be simplifying the tax system, creating a more open and less discriminatory administrative system for to remove tax terrorism, and a robust surveillance system to curb round tripping through shell companies, clamping down on tax havens, and collaboration with other countries, naming and shaming, training tax officials, and whatever law what we have, there should be a strict enforcement, and law must be periodically changed to catch up with global taxation reforms, and we must focus more on prevention of black money generation, because once generated money is quickly laundered away to become untraceable. Moving on to next topic, it is monetary policy transmission. In economic times, there is a news that our policy transmission has improved after introducing external benchmark linked interest rate. Monetary policy refers to the policy of the central bank, that is Reserve Bank of India, in matters of interest rates, money, etc. It is through this monetary policy, RBI controls inflation in the country. For it, RBI uses instruments like repo rate, reverse repo rate, SLR, CRR, etc. While fiscal policy helps government. Remember, fiscal policy helps government, not RBI, to decide how much money it should spend to support economic activity. So, for growth and for more employment, more spending will be. Then there can be a situation where our monetary policy and fiscal policy is against each other. Like to reduce inflation, central bank will say to reduce money with the public. But for growth, government will want to spend more. In India, responsibility of checking inflation lies with Monetary Policy Committee, which is a statutory body. It is formed as per Urjit Patel Committee recommendations. It targets for plus or minus 2% of inflation. There are 6 members, RBI, including RBI governor, and RBI governor gets the casting vote. So, what is monetary policy transmission? In our economic system, first there is RBI, which lends to bank at repo rate, and these banks lend to individuals and corporates in the economy at their interest rate. Whenever there is inflation in the economy, RBI will increase repo rate to reduce money supply in the economy. If RBI's policy change here in repo rate results in desired change in the economy regarding money supply, then we will have a effective monetary policy transmission. But to have that, the intermediary bank should change their interest rate whenever RBI changes its policy. From 2010 June to 2016 April, the bank's interest rate was based on base rate, which depended upon three components. However, this base rate didn't result in effective transmission of monetary policy. So we from 2016 April till October 2019, banks use MCLR, which depended upon another four components. This too was an internal benchmark and didn't give desired policy transmission as it depended upon how banks conducted their business. From October 2019, banks can choose from one of the four external benchmarks like repo rate or 3-month treasury bill yield or 6-month treasury bill yield or any other benchmark interest rate published by Financial Benchmarks India Private Limited. The news in the Times now says it has resulted in better transmission. From prelims point of view, please study components on which each rate depends. Moving on to the last topic, coal sector in India. There is a news in Economic Times that India can fulfill its 50% requirement of coking coal from imports from Russia. So we will look into what is coking coal and various issues regarding coal sector in India, where coal is found in India and its various types. So what is coking coal? Coking coal, also known as metallurgical coal, is used to create coke, one of the key inputs for the production of steel. It is used to make pig iron in a blast furnace. Although India stands fourth highest in coal reserve in the world, its 80% coal reserves are of non-coking type, and rest 12% have high ash content. Therefore, Indian coking coal is cheap but of poor quality, and India has to import a large quantity of coking coal, which is expensive but are of good quality. The steel industry in India blends both to secure a moderate quality with a moderate cost of coking coal. It is estimated that India will overtake China as the largest importer of coking coal by 2025. Still, China influences prices of coking coal to a large extent because it is the largest producer as well as the largest consumer of coking coal. On the basis of carbon content, coal can be classified into following types. Anthracite, it is the best quality of coal with the highest calorific value and contains about 80 to 95% carbon content. In small quantities, it can be found in Jammu Kashmir. The second type is bituminous. Its carbon content is only 60 to 80% and still has a high calorific value. It is found in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh. And third type is lignite. It is found in Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, and Assam. Peat has a low calorific value and less than 40% carbon. So, what are the issues in coal sector in India? It includes delayed environment and forest clearance, land acquisition problems, lack of adequate technology, low productivity of Indian coal, and higher operation and maintenance costs of Indian coal power plants. Government has introduced various reforms and measures for improving coal sector. It includes Uttam app for coal quality monitoring. There is a coal allocation monitoring system, and there is a new coal linkage policy to ensure adequate supply of fuel to power plants is reached without any problem. And there is also opening up of commercial coal mining for Indian and foreign companies in the private sector. So what more to be done? As India's coal is high in ash content, coal beneficiation should be done. We should also increase production and competition between coal mines. There should be better transportation facilities. And clean coal as an idea has huge potential in India because of the age and inefficiency of some of our plants. That's all for today. Thank you for listening and take care.